What's going on, guys? Michael here with you once again. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to go over 3 easy tips to maximize your time spent on field work. We're going to make you a well-rounded player. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, be intentional with the time that you devote to field work. Everybody's got areas of their game that they view as strengths and those that are weaknesses. So take the time to solidify your strengths and elevate your weaknesses in your field work. We all know what they are. You go to a casual round or a tournament round, you play the round and you think, wow, if I would have thrown this shot, I would have scored, I don't know, 4 strokes better on my round. Take your field work and devote your field work to those things. So what I'm not saying is go out into a field, just grab every disc in your bag and just sling it down the field a couple times and you're like, okay, that's great field work. No. Find your weaknesses, find what you can do to fix them, and make yourself a complete disc golfer. Be intentional with the time that you have and that you're devoting to your disc golf improvement. Tip number 2, location. What do I mean by that? So if you're working on max distance drives and you need a load of room to do that work and really watch and see how the disc responds in the air, get yourself a wide open field. Give yourself nothing to work around, give yourself plenty of space in order to do the job that you are setting out to do. If you're trying to work on your accuracy or you're trying to hit gaps in wooded courses and that sort of thing, find a park, find an area of land that's got wooded areas that you have to hit your gaps at 30, 50, 100, 200 feet away. Make your practice field work for you. Don't make yourself have to imagine obstacles being there. Find a place that obstacles are there and make yourself throw the shots that you're finding yourself being weak in. If you're needing to work on a flip-up hyzer through a gap, find some park somewhere that's got trees that allows you to flip up through a gap somewhere. So don't just find yourself in a wide open field slinging discs. Find the areas and the locations that can maximize what you're trying to work on. Tip number 3, be creative. This is the time that you can throw literally any shot that you want to throw. So while you need to spend the majority of your time galvanizing your strengths and elevating your weaknesses, this is also the time that you should be throwing a lot of creative lines. Don't let the tournament be the first time that you're deciding to throw a tomahawk or throwing a cut roller. This is your time to become a scramble artist. Be creative in those lines so you can throw things like big sky anties up and over the trees. Understand what your discs are going to do up there and what discs that you'll trust to get the job done. Shots like cut rollers and regular rollers and scoobers and all sorts of flex lines and creative lines that can really get your discs to make crazy moves through the woods and turn your scramble game up a whole lot of notches and save yourself loads of strokes when it comes time for that big tournament play. Don't let the tournament be the first time that you're trying some of these shots. Get familiar with them all in your field work. Let me show you a few shots that can get your creative juices flowing when you're trying to work out these new lines. So for a normal roller, they're gonna land straight and they're gonna work their way over and fall on their top side. Check it out. So for a cut roller, we try to fight that natural tendency to fall on its top. So we angle it at a harsher angle with the bottom showing more toward the ground, and we're looking for it to fight away from the top and land on its bottom. Check it out. Just like that. We've also got the good old-fashioned stall shot. You throw a disc level way up into the air, it's going to run out of energy and fall to its overstable side. Out of energy, and there it goes. Whoop. You've also got like helicopter shots or elevator shots. It's when you're trying to work your way up high, up and over an obstruction, and then they just work their way down, fall out of the sky, kind of hovering down to the ground. So great for when you got to throw up and over an obstruction like a tree or a bush or something, but the pin sits right behind. So you can't go too far and you don't have a lot of room to work with left or right. So right up and over the top, typically on a slight anhyzer, so as it stables up, it just kind of falls straight down. Check it out. And then here it comes backwards. Whoop. You've also got the scuba, as made famous by Brody Smith. You hold the disc just like you would for a forehand. You're reaching across your body to your other shoulder and pitching the disc forward on a slight angle. A bit like this. Disc will pan out, land top side, does not have a whole lot of glide, so decent if you're trying to slide the disc up to the basket, or just have it die out of the wind and it just gets down to the ground. No nonsense. Check it out. Easy pitch. It's also really good to know what your disc is going to do if you're looking to throw up and over a large tree and still try to go for distance. I typically use understable discs to ensure that I'm getting the turn necessary as I'm clearing the tree, because as you're throwing up in the air, all discs are going to become more stable. So I typically go with understable plastic, ensure I get the turn that I need, and I can get the distance required for the shot. Try it out for yourself. Flex shots will save you loads of strokes in the woods. It's typically with an overstable disc. You put it on anhyzer hard in one direction, and its overstability will allow it to move back in another direction. Great for working around obstacles and great for getting back on track in woods golf. Tomahawks will get you out of a lot of trouble. They provide a load of movement in the air. You hold them like you're throwing a forehand, but you're bringing it up and over the top of your head. If you're thinking of like a watch face here, it'd be about 10 o'clock is where I'm pointing. Up and over the top, and it'll really move through the air, panning out, moving through. Great for wood shots and landing on their top or on their opposite end. Check it out. Cool. Thumbers are very similar to tomahawks, except your thumb goes in the inside of the rim this time. Working yourself up and over your head, once again, a lot of movement through the air. Should bend the other way. Ground play is super important in disc golf, and it can mean the difference between being parked and being circle's edge on a whole lot of occasions. Now, playing skip shots is just using the ground play to your advantage. Now, there's a whole lot of skip shots that you can throw. You can throw big flare skips, you can have skips that run across the ground, or you can use a putter or mid-range and have a mild skip that just kind of skip, bump, and run just a little bit to the basket. Let me show you a few. Start with the flare skip. Big hop, you see that? So that's called a flare skip. Now let's send one running across the ground. These are lower to the ground, a lot of power behind them, and they'll run and skip across the ground. Check it out. Low shot, there it goes. Another skip, another skip, another skip. And I'm way over there to the left. Pretty cool. Now let me show you with an overstable putter. The duller edge won't let it skip as much, but it'll give me a little bit of ground play to work with. One hop, and then it just kind of comes to rest. Very useful and worth your time in practicing. Now let's talk about a grenade. Kevin Jones, Eagle McMahon, they make these very, very famous. You hold your disc like you're throwing a backhand, except inverted. Your thumb's on the inside of the disc. You're going to be throwing these very high. They're designed to get up and over obstructions and then dive bomb to the ground. There's no glide really involved in a grenade. Check it out. see it just shooting to the ground. Spikes down on the ground, bops around a little bit, but very little ground play that's at use with a grenade. Well, what do you think? Did I miss any shots that others need to know about? Let me know about it in the comments down below. Well, there you have it. 3 easy steps to maximize your time doing your field work. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. And I will see you next time. See ya.